on, man. I'm the best fighter in the world. Who you think I am? Who you think I am? I'm the best fighter in the world.
What's going on, you guys? So we got some fights tomorrow night before we discuss the main topic here on this monologue video. Janabek versus Bentley. Both guys made weight. Should be going down. Should be. I guess I don't know what to expect from that fight. I expect Janabek to win a fight. Bob Arum came out and said that he'll pay any middleweight top dollar to get up in there with Janabek. I didn't hear him say such things when it came to Terence Crawford. But we also got a fight with Montana Love and Steve Spark tomorrow. And yeah, that should be a good fight as well. Richardson Hitchison should be on the undercard. That should be interesting to see how he looks against his opponent, who some may feel is better than Montana Love's opponent. Montana Love was kind of dismissive of the idea of facing Richardson Hitchison, said that he ain't nobody knows him, get your money up, blah, 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 blah. We heard that story before. When these guys start saying stuff like that, well, they see this guy as a potential threat. Anthony Joshua, Roy Jones may become a team now. Anthony Joshua looking like he may be dropping Robert Garcia, going to his next potential matchup, possibly dealing in white. But Roy Jones has threw his name in the hat to be a head trainer for Anthony Joshua. Could Roy Jones help out AJ? Could you imagine Anthony Joshua's moving around the ring similar to a Roy Jones? I would imagine you would need a shit ton of stamina to fight like a Roy Jones. And that's something that's been a heel for Anthony Joshua throughout his career, is that he seemed to have stamina issues, especially late in fights. We'll see how it works out. Big fan of Roy Jones. Mount Rushmore of boxing, in my opinion. And I'm rooting for AJ in his comeback. But Errol Spence to Keith Thurman. I did a video earlier. Got fans really uptight. They got really uptight because I said I see it as a 50-50 fight. And I gave, I believe, a valid reason why I believe it's a 50-50 fight, because both guys ain't been really fighting. Both guys been injured. Both guys have wide spots of inactivity. But when you look at the stylistic matchup, when we look at the styles, I think Keith Thurman has a style that can give Errol Spence problems. We've seen Errol Spence in there with Sean Porter, right? And Sean Porter, he's not necessarily a fleet-footed fighter, but he's a fighter with fast feet. Errol Spence could barely keep up with Sean Porter. Sean Porter's not moving laterally. He's not moving backwards. He's moving right forward. And Spence could barely keep up with him. Keith Thurman got some of the best legs as far as the older veteran welterweights. Full 12 rounds he can go. Fans didn't like the whole idea of it being a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. I think it's a 50-50 fight. As of right now, I believe it's 50-50. Now, Spence could very well win that fight. I'm not saying Keith Thurman's going to come out here and just razzle and dazzle all over Errol Spence Jr. No, I'm not saying that at all. But when you look at it stylistically, it could be interesting. We haven't seen Spence in there. We haven't seen Errol Spence in there with somebody that's crafty like a Keith Thurman. We just haven't seen it. So it'd be hard for me to say he's just going to go up in there and knock Keith Thurman right out. It'll be hard for me to come out here and just say that flat out. Because Keith Thurman can fight backwards, forwards. You know, he punch going forward. Laterally, you know, he can punch from different angles. So Keith Thurman, even though he's a front runner, he's really, really strong in the first 6 rounds. Errol Spence tends to get stronger as the fight goes. I think it's a 50-50 fight. Fans don't like that shit. Why? Because it's Errol Spence. And Errol Spence, well, he's the god of boxing. He's the golden boy of boxing. He's the Pootie Tang of boxing. But should be a good fight, man. We haven't heard Spence come out and say anything in regards to it being mandated or anything like that yet. Of course, for months he's been saying that he's not going to be fighting Keith Thurman, but boxing is making it happen anyway. Seeing a lot of guys still talking about Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is going to always be in the news no matter what he do. Guys, bigger YouTube channels, some of your favorite YouTubers been really, really making it their thing to come after Terence Crawford. And Crawford take notice, and he came at the YouTubers, right? Said the YouTubers making the sport look bad. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think some of the YouTubers may try to make certain fighters look bad. But YouTube is where the boxing community news stays afloat, right? If you want to know what's going on in boxing, you may want to hop on YouTube, right? But a lot of guys still is going after Terence Bud Crawford, no matter what he say, no matter what he do. Oh, he needs to stop doing interviews. But a few weeks ago, oh, well, we haven't heard, but well, he needs to come out and say something. Bro, right? The dude can't win for losing. He's still getting blamed for the Spence fight fallout, right? We all know what really happened, okay? We all know what really happened. Terence Crawford literally came out on video and told everybody his side of the story. Spence came out on Twitter the following day, almost 14 hours later, using somebody else, a ghostwriter, to help him explain his part of the story, right? He didn't even know what was going on for real. He didn't even know what was going on for real. But, well, we gonna still blame Bud anyway. Why didn't Bud fight Boots? Well, what Showtime let Boots come over there to Black Prime to fight Terence Crawford? Nah, none of you guys ask those questions. Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions, we know what he likes to do. He lets his fighters fight everywhere, anywhere, against anybody. But will Showtime and Dry Innocence people allow him to go over there to Black Prime to fight Terence Crawford in Omaha, Nebraska? Would they have let that happen in less than a month, in about a month, right? Because this is a short notice fight. Nah, I don't know, man. See, they could come out, Bozy Ennis and all these guys come out and say all this shit all they want to, but in reality, would they have made that fight in such a short period of time? I don't think so. Nah, I'm not buying it. Virgil Ortiz with the DAZN and Golden Boy let him go over there to Black Prime on Crawford's territory to fight. Nah, I don't think so. Not no month's time. Not no month's time. So you mean to tell me that these young fighters can get prepared for Terence Crawford? These young promising fighters who's likely the future of the division gonna hop in there with Terence Crawford in a month? Yeah, make that make sense. But guys like Ivorizian, who's a little bit older, who got some momentum, who's been doing his thing over there on the other side of the world, he ain't got nothing necessary to lose. But guys like Boots, guys like Virgil, they got something to lose. Now, Bozy Ennis, he can come out and say it all he wants to. But in reality, they put that petition in to fight Errol Spence, not Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford came out and said that I don't see nobody jumping up and down to fight me like that, bro. How come I got to chase everybody? I'm still #1 on the pound-for-pound list. Yeah, that's right. Terence Bud Crawford is still #1 on the current ESPN pound-for-pound list. He's not an ESPN fighter anymore. So there's no bias there, right? He's still #1 pound-for-pound. Dudes swear, oh, it's Bud pound-for-pound #1 because he's running laps around boxing. He got almost 40 fights. He got more knockouts than a lot of these top guys got fights. Bud's been doing this. So he's #1 until further notice. But nobody's jumping up and down to fight Terence Crawford like that. Yeah, they can say shit now because they know he's locked in with Ivorizian. Yeah, they can say everything now. They can talk all they want to now because the coast is clear. For weeks, we didn't hear about it from Errol Spence Jr. when there was negotiations. There's no way that fight should have took 6 months long. Terence Crawford said he's turned off by fighting Errol Spence Jr. Just turned off. 6-month negotiation process. It shouldn't have took that long. If they wanted to fight, they should have just made the fight. 35% with no guarantee. Doesn't sound too fair to me. Doesn't sound too fair to me. But this is what the boxing community is going to continue to do. A lot of these guys are trying to boycott the fight with Ivorizian, but a lot of these guys, I believe, will be tuning in regardless whether they pay for it or not. They're going to want to see if Terence Crawford has some slippage in this game at the age of 35 years old now. This stall-out process, this is what I'm going to call it now. The stall-out process of Terence Crawford. That's what it was. And Crawford came out and said, oh, well, I know the real reason why they were stalling on this fight, and you need to stop doing that. Yeah, I heard what you've been doing for some people over there. There's a lot of moles over there on PBC. A lot of snakes over there on PBC releasing some very private information. Recorded audios. Weird TikTok, IG videos. Why? Speaking of that, they came out and said that was fake, right? A whole day later, they came out and said that video was fake and that his girl was doing a skit on Twitter, TikTok, or whatever, right? It took almost like a whole day later for them to find a reasoning to explain this, right? Initially, nobody came on the live stream. Nobody had an answer for anything. All I was looking for was answers. Nobody knew the answer, but they waited a whole 24 hours to get their fucking story together. Now, whether it was fake or not, if it was fake or not, If it was fake, they deserve an Academy Award for that performance. Academy Award. I didn't know Spence was such an actor. Maybe he's in the wrong profession. Maybe he should become an actor once his boxing career is over, because that was an Oscar-worthy performance. But they coming for Bud. They still coming for Bud. They still blaming him for that fight not happening. We see how long it's taking for Ryan and Tank to get made, right? That fight should be almost a no-brainer at this point. He didn't even fight everybody on his side of the street. Keith Thurman, that was a fight that he was reluctant to take. It took WBC to make, right? What makes you think that if he can't even get Errol Spence, how he gonna get Boots? The future. Let's not forget what Jamel Charlo was, how he was acting when it came to Terence Crawford. Oh, don't mention that guy's name no more. Come on, man. Come on, man. Pay attention to the fighters. They got to deal with this type of guy. Not the politics that's preventing this guy from getting these guys. PBC could have made this thing real easy, and we could have already had this fight November 19th. That magical date, that almost historical date in the sport of boxing that never materialized into anything. But every time Bud come out and say something, here they come. Your favorite YouTubers, here they go. They'll never be able to look at it objectively. They'll never look at it as the PBC dropped the ball on the fight. I'm not necessarily blaming Spence. Now, I do feel that Errol Spence, if he really wanted to fight, he should have made sure his handlers made that fight happen. He should have made sure that Terence Crawford got what he wanted to make this happen. So that's why a part of me questioned, did Errol Spence truly want this fight? Because Terence Crawford was the one out in public doing this, that, and the third, right? He was the one out in public seemingly bumping shoulders with celebrities. We seen him with Jay-Z. Maybe Jay-Z got something to do with this Black Prime thing. Remember, he came out in the video and said that, Al Heyman, you know these people. And early on, Rock Nation, they was kind of rivals with PBC, Al Heyman. Maybe Jay-Z is the one putting up this $25-50 million for Errol Spence and Terence Crawford to fight. Maybe he's the one that had that little hedge for him. Maybe he got something to do with it. I don't know, right? Maybe he got something to do with that. Errol Spence said he wanted to see where the hedge from coming from. I necessarily can't tell you that, bro. Just know it's there. Now, if I told you guys who it's coming from, then you'll definitely believe me. But I don't know if he wants to be out there in the public like that. Maybe he want to hide back in the shadows like Mr. Al Heyman. You got to also question yourself about this back end shit. Logan Paul didn't get paid from Floyd. Right? Dude's not getting paid. I remember Tank Davis, he was mad about his money. I believe it was the Cruz fight. It didn't do good as they thought. Adrian Broner jumped ship. Why? Floyd Mayweather's fighting on DAZN. Why? But then we go sit here and blame Terence Crawford for this fight not happening. Nah, man, you got to look at the handlers. You got to look at the network, the people. Crawford said, look, man, I did everything they asked. I agreed to all their terms. I even took the 35% just to make this fight happen with no guarantee. Guess what? Y'all go blame me and not PBC. But when Crawford first left Top Rank, the big move, we seen what happened. He left Top Rank. Guess what they did? Oh, well, his numbers is this. And, you know, they didn't seem to have really good intentions with this thing from the beginning. But this is stuff that your favorite YouTuber is not going to talk about. We just go to hashtag blame Bud. When Crawford did literally everything that the boxing fans, the media, etc. asked of him to make this fight happen. He went over there to their side of the street. He knocked on their door. He got in the building. He sat in the negotiation room. And guess what? The fight still didn't happen. He just wanted to be treated fairly. Yeah, I want to give the fans the fights they want to see, but at the same time, y'all got to treat me fair. I'm the best fighter in the world. Mikey Garcia got 40%, 50-50s, and, you know, guarantees. All right? Now, he came out and said something about Mikey being kind of built up to kind of catapult Errol Spence's career, which is possibly true, right? Get a Mexican fighter fighting a black fighter in Texas. This is a no-brainer. Mike Garcia stood no chance in that fight. He was a lightweight, little guy, small guy. Spence was eager to get him in the ring. Ooh, he couldn't wait to get Mikey in the ring. When it came to Terence Bud Crawford, oh, well, Sean Porter got a belt. Oh, well, he on the wrong side of the street. Oh, well, he ain't fought nobody. I ain't seen nobody necessarily beating on the door to fight Terence Crawford. Not even Boots is beating on that door like that. He ain't beating on the door like that. His daddy is saying this, that, and the third. Salute to my boy YSM. His daddy's beating on the door. But I don't necessarily see Boots beating on that door. I don't necessarily see Virgil beating on that door. These guys, look, man, they wasn't going to put them young fighters in there with Terence Crawford and potentially derail their promising careers this fucking early on a month's notice. Think. You get a guy like Averizian, 6-fight KO streak, some momentum, a puncher, it's tough, got nothing to lose. Yeah, he go take the fight in a heartbeat. It makes sense. Month's notice. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. But yeah, nobody's lining up to fight Bud like that, you guys. And that's just the reality of the situation. Crawford's going to do what he got to do. $10 million payday. Dude's mad because he's Buddy Bags. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.